I'm Senator Bob Huff. Thank you for joining me for my Capitol comment for the week of March 12, 2012. Two things of note this week at the Capitol. First relates to education reform. Recently, Mayor Villaraigosa of Los Angeles and LA Unified Superintendent John Dacey have been calling for education reform. Villaraigosa put this in a letter to the governor, and this week the Assembly and Senate Republicans backed that by introducing legislation that will help streamline the process to get rid of bad teachers. Most teachers are great, hardworking, trying to make a difference in the classroom, but there's some that are there for different reasons. When we send our kids to school, we don't want them to be in the hands of sexual predators. We want them to be in the hands of teaching professionals who can help bring them to a conclusion and be productive citizens in society. The other thing of note this week is the governor's tax plan. You heard as recently as last week that it was the only responsible way to solve our current budgetary problem. But the issue is there's 5 different competing tax increases, and he's been able to talk one of them out, actually a couple of them out, but he's been wrestling with the teachers union one. So when he saw his own polling tanking it down at 52% before the first negative shot is even taken at it, he's now blended the two together and negotiating with them for his 7-year, up from 5 years. He's taken the sales tax component from 0.5% to 0.25%, and he's putting more of the load on the so-called rich. Now, the problem with this is it will generate significantly more revenues, $51 billion now is the estimate, over what is necessary to solve what is really a temporary budgetary downturn. So rather than the government finding efficiencies, making things work better, and using this opportunity to narrow the scope of government, we will actually be ramping up our expenses because we have a problem here. The more revenues we have, the more we spend. And absent the reforms that we should be getting, this is a recipe for disaster. And keeping in mind that as we load more on the so-called rich, there is nothing more portable than a millionaire and their money. I'm Senator Bob Huff. Thank you for joining me for my Capitol comment.